to trust those who are also equally trained. And in fact, one of the shifts in citizen science is that this science community has opened up to a much broader group of people. How do you feel about someone like Sandy, who is, you were an English teacher by training, right? So here's this English teacher coming in doing data sampling in this highly trained science world. Do you trust it? How do you feel about that?
I think we're blessed to be on Cape Cod, first of all, each and all of us. And many people retire here from various backgrounds. But what they enjoy most of all is their new career, and that is maybe being out there in the environment and doing some of this environmental monitoring. And they do it in a very professional manner.
Now, I'm going to have you explain what you do, but rather than just talking about it, we're going to go down and we're going to actually look at some of this in action, and Sandy's going to walk us through kind of a day in the life of a citizen scientist. One level, right? Tell us, so you've got a bunch of different instruments here. What are they and what do you do with them?
These are all instruments that we use each time we go out. And I'm going to start with this creature, which is called a dissolved oxygen meter.
Do you say that again?
Dissolved oxygen meter. This is an expensive piece of electronics, not waterproof, so we have try to tie them to the stern when we go out. This, when calibrated, will tell us at each level we are looking at in the pond, which is several in what they call the water column.
So 1 meter, 2 meters,
yes.
3 meters, and so on.
This will show us how much oxygen is in the water and what the temperature of the water is. And both of those things are very important to understanding what's going on in the water. This disc was invented, I love this story, by an advisor to an 1800s pope who was the head of the Royal Navy, the Papal Navy, and his name was Secchi. And he said, I want a measure of the quality of the water, of the clarity of the water, I suppose in the Mediterranean. And so Secchi came up with this very simple pi disc. As you lower that into the water, when you can no longer see it, or when you bring it up and you can see it, it tells you how clear the water is.
So the contrast.
The contrast, yep. Yeah. And this is used all over the country, probably all over the world. This is a cheap and indestructible piece of equipment. And we have a measuring tape attached to it. And then the last step is to take water samples. This is a very crotchety water sample. They all are. I think they're made to be crotchety. But the idea is that we put this water sampler down into the water at certain levels, as we do with everything else, all the other things that we do.
Everything that you're testing is the